Seems these days that YouTube is just fucking over everybody. You know, Mumpy Jones is gone. Fucking Digibro got taken off for a while. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what type of content you make. YouTube is going to fuck you over. And they fucked me over to a degree. Although not nearly as badly as they have to some other people. And I'm thankful of that, but, you know, it's only a matter of time until something even worse happens. But what they did do was not too great for the narrative that I was trying to set up with the series of videos that I had. And if you're wondering what I mean by that, the series of hentai videos that I was creating on my main channel, and I'm sort of kind of going back to that a little bit, or at least I will be here in the future, was this narrative of, like, this character who's portrayed by me and is, by extension, me, sort of his journey through hentai, his journey through this landscape of hentai, as I called it in my first video, and sort of helping other people understand hentai through this lens that I've created, or at least that I'm exploring. And if that sounds vague, it's because it is vague. It was less about like a concrete narrative, and it was more thematic, and it was more about like this character who goes through these changes, while, you know, fundamentally remaining the same in his journey to spread hentai and create a more productive community around these ideas, which is something that I want to happen anyways, but, you know, I sort of had this exaggerated character, and that's what the narrative was. And up to this date, the most important video within that narrative that I'd created was called How to Get into Hentai. It was the first video that I made. It was kind of bad. Like, in terms of writing, it wasn't too bad, but the actual video quality, specifically the audio quality, was horrible. Like, I went back and watched it, you know, the version that I had saved on my computer just today, and man, like, I was talking so quietly, and like you could hear the saliva in my mouth. It was kind of gross. And I might re-record it one day if I ever find an avenue to upload it through, you know, maybe Web 3.0, who knows. You know, essentially, they got rid of that video, and it wasn't the first time that I had a video taken down. They actually removed my Mankitsu Happening video first, but I did manage to get that one back. I told them, hey, this is for artistic and educational purposes, so technically it's allowed through your guidelines, and they were like, yeah, okay, whatever, fine, we'll just put it back up. We don't really care. That's what I assume they said there at YouTube headquarters. Who the fuck knows? But, you know, then they removed my first video, How to Get into Hentai, probably because I didn't censor it far enough, and there was a lot of moments where, like, you know, you could see some stuff peek through the monkey face. So that's probably why it got taken down. I used the exact same excuse to try to get that one back up, and they were like, nope, sorry, like, that's staying down. Even though it was, you know, 18 or older or whatever, like age restricted, and they were like, nope, sorry, not coming back online. And so that basically ruined everything. Because if you don't watch that video, like, you're not going to understand the context behind all the rest of the videos. Like, you can still get something out of them, I think, and they're still, like, decent videos, but you're not going to understand that whole narrative that I was setting up, or at least get the, you know, essential feeling of it, as if you had watched that video. Because out of all of them, it was the most important one. And there was actually another video that I had planned to come out during the summer of 2018 called How to Understand Hentai, which was a direct follow-up to that one, sort of, not necessarily, you know, in terms of, like, being a direct sequel, but just, like, if you know, watch that one directly after, you would understand the connection, you would understand the link. And then that one never got released because as I was working on it, actually, like, right around the time that I started video editing, they got rid of my How to Get in Hentai video, and I was like, okay, well, then what am I supposed to do with this? Because, like, this video depends heavily on watching How to Get into Hentai, because, you know, like, if you don't watch that one, this video, like, doesn't make sense. So I scrapped that video, and I think a few months ago I posted it on Patreon, just the audio. So if you're curious about that, you can drop $7 and listen to that. I'm thinking about changing that price point, by the way. You know, maybe drop it down to 5 or raise it up to 10, because I don't like how uneven 7 is. But I'm still working on that. So if you want to go watch that, that's available to listen to. There's no video, but I'd only recommend watching it if you had in the past seen my How to Get into Hentai video. It's called How to Understand Hentai, and instead of going into the reasons why I got into hentai and the reasons as to why I think, like, you know, people should get into hentai, I'm telling you directly what are the things that I look for and why this medium is separate from other mediums. So that's sort of what that video was about. And it was originally going to be like a 2 or 3 part video, but I only ended up making the first part because, like I said, they removed the video as I was working on it, so I was like, there's no point in even continuing. Maybe one day, once I find an avenue to get all my videos up somewhere besides YouTube, somewhere that's not, so centralized and they can take down whatever they want just because, they're the big corporate machine and they can do whatever the hell they want on their platform. Maybe one day that series will actually get continued, who knows? But until then, I'm just sort of working on less concrete stuff. I'm just doing things that are not necessarily involved within that narrative. I'm sure it'll still peek through a little bit at times, but it's not really something that's going to be continued because, there's no point. And because of that, I'm probably going to actually shift the type of content that I'm making slightly, like I said in one of the other vlogs that I made, I'm going to be shifting more towards generic, well, not generic, but, traditional anime, because I do have some stuff I want to say about that. And now that I'm no longer, setting out to do this specific thing that I was doing with these hentai videos, I might as well talk about it, and I might as well say what I have to say, because I think I have a couple of things off in my head that are slightly unique. I don't know, who knows? Maybe I'll get destroyed off the platform before that can even happen, so you never know.